What is good, YouTube, and all you Dolphins fans out there? It's the Miami Football Fanatic here again. Glad you guys could come back for another video. And finally, after 4 months of waiting, the Dolphins finally made their 13th pick in the draft, and they decided to pull the trigger on Christian Wilkins, the defensive tackle out of Clemson. This is a tremendous pick. We got an awesome player here. He's going to come in and fill a major need that we've had on the team now, especially after we cut Sue last year. We've only got Gottschall and Taylor there in the middle, and Akeem Spence is going to play this year, but we all know that he's not going to be around for the long run. He's probably not going to be around, past this year, but we've gone ahead and filled a major need right here, and this is a guy who's tremendously versatile. He's going to fit in perfectly to the scheme that, Brian Flores and the staff, Patrick Graham's going to want to run. They have claimed that they want to run a multiple front defense, and he's the perfect guy to come in and do that for us. He can play 3-4 defensive end, 4-3 defensive tackle, 4-3 D end. I don't think he's quite athletic enough to play 3-4 outside linebacker, but anywhere we need him along the line, he's going to fit in perfectly. As I said, he's a tremendous football player, and he's an even better human being. You can just see his personality shining through, especially when, I'm sure Roger Goodell wasn't happy about it. He's got a 315-pound man, bounding at him in the air. He thought it's probably going to go wrong, but, you could just see he's a fun-loving guy. He's a high-character individual, and the Dolphins really did draft a locker room leader, and he wants to make everyone around him great. He said it himself on multiple occasions. He's a 2-time college football national champ. Alabama, Clemson, having won the championship this year, and I think it was 2017, a couple of years ago, they won as well. But, he comes from an awesome school, awesome pedigree. He's been surrounded by tremendous players and, just coached by the best. Dabo Swinney's a terrific coach. But, he's just come from a high pedigree school with this, pure excellence. Back to his personality. He's got an infectious, fun-loving personality, and he really does have the potential to be one of the strongest leaders on the team for years to come. He can really be a face of the franchise type personality and character. And by watching his press conference today after he flew down to Miami, you can just tell, he's a highly intelligent player, but you can just tell he's a great dude, and just he's going to be awesome for years to come. I just can't wait to watch all of his entertaining press conferences, and hopefully his play on the field matches his awesome personality, which I'm sure it will. I really think that he can develop into one of the leaders of the defense along with Minka. He really is a Minka, Fitzpatrick of the defensive line. He can do it all, just like Minka coming in last year. Minka could play corner, he could play slot, he could play safety, strong free safety, whatever you wanted, he can do it. And Christian Wilkins can do, similar, not similar things, but, he's got the same versatility. Like I said, he can play all over the defensive line. He's got experience at base end and defensive tackle. He's going to be a perfect fit for our multiple front defense, potentially multiple front defense. Who knows how multiple we are going to be? They have claimed that they want to be multiple, but, when you've got a mind like Bill Belichick, you can afford to be multiple. So who knows if they're going to be able to pull it off down here in Miami. But, taking Christian Wilkins definitely is a step in the right direction. He's a special athlete. He's a smart football player, and he really plays the game the right way. He's got a relentless motor, and just like his get off is just absolutely tremendous. And his quickness off the snap, just his play speed is it's off the charts. Just the way he closes in on ball carriers, and the way he can just rip and dip around guards and offensive linemen it truly is elite. I'm going to go into more detail about his tremendous technique, but you can just tell watching him, this is a special talent at defensive tackle, and a guy that's going to be hopefully one of the best D tackles in the league. yeah, like I said, he's got incredible quickness between the tackles and outside the numbers. Does a great job running down, ball carriers that are way out of his vicinity. He's got a, you know, tremendous. He's got great effort and a great motor. And his play speed is more like a linebacker than an interior D lineman, especially in short areas. His closing speed truly is elite, and he often leaves blockers in the dust. He plays the game with tremendous leverage. You can just tell, like, the way he comes out of his stance. I mean, when he's in his 3-point stance before the ball, or a 4-point stance before the ball gets snapped. I mean, the guy, he's like, his torso is damn near like on the grass. That's how low in his stance he gets, and that's when when he explodes out of his stance, he's just got just absolutely perfect pad level. And his forward lean is just perfect. Like, it's so rare to see in defensive tackles. I think that he's the perfect size, 6'3", 315. I'm sure that if he was 6'5" plus, he wouldn't be able to play with that same leverage. But he's always got a perfect forward lean, and he's always most of the time is driving the offensive lineman back into the quarterback. And he can play the run game and pass game equally as well as the other. This isn't a defensive tackle that specializes in stopping the run or rushing the passer from the inside. He really is a do-it-all talent here at defensive tackle that we got at 13, and he's a polished pass rusher with 16 career sacks. And not only is he an incredible football player, but this guy is obviously incredibly intelligent. He's the first Clemson scholarship football player to earn a degree in just 2.5 years, and I think he did 2 degrees in 2.5 years. I'm pretty sure they were probably 4-year degrees, and this guy just obviously is just incredibly bright and just absolutely whizzed through those degrees and was able to pretty much graduate in half the time. I know a lot of Dolphins fans, wanted us to grab Dwayne Haskins, but obviously, he wasn't the guy for us there at 13. I was a bit of a fan of Haskins. I loved his quick release, and just his arm was just tremendous, and I really loved his accuracy. But obviously, the Dolphins wanted a much more mobile quarterback, and just a guy that can really get out of trouble if our O-line isn't holding up. And it's something that Dwayne Haskins definitely hasn't shown. I mean, he did play behind a great Ohio State O-line, as they always have every year. But they obviously wanted to go in a different direction. And obviously, when this video comes out, you guys all know that we did trade for another certain quarterback, and a guy that isn't particularly mobile, but he's more mobile than Dwayne Haskins, in Josh Rosen. I'm going to be doing another video talking about Rosen, but obviously Haskins wasn't the guy for us. But what we got here is an elite defensive player, a guy that can play anywhere on the defensive line. He's going to be one of the leaders in the locker room, one of the leaders on the team. He's going to lift the play of his peers around him, and he's a guy that's going to just be a positive influence for this team, and a guy that's going to help us build towards being, perennial contenders, and just, a team that can, be hopefully above 10 plus wins for, many years to come. And I really think that he's going to be as I said before, he's going to be one of the leaders of the team, of the defense, along with Minka, and you can't ask for better high character, high IQ football players, because they've got they're incredibly bright. They're much more intelligent, than the average person, but they've got the physical ability and just the football talent to match, and that's incredibly rare. And obviously the Dolphins, wanted to grab hopefully a kind of a generational defensive tackle that can leave an awesome stamp in the South Florida area. And a guy that can lead us to the promised land. So as always, don't forget to leave your feedback. I'm sure a lot of you wanted Dwayne Haskins, or you wanted another player. Maybe a defensive, defensive end like a Brian Burns or a Montez Sweat. Whatever other positions you wanted. Make sure to let me know in the comments section. And as always, fins up, baby. Don't forget to like and subscribe as always. Alrighty, guys, fins up.